My anxiety is absolutely through the roof. It is through the roof right now. Let's listen to this guy.
Did not survive 4 years of Biden. You survived Trump. You survived 4 years of Trump. You could survive again. 240,000 Palestinians did not survive 4 years of Biden. You survived Trump. You survived it. Trump is going to be worse than Biden. Let's measure it. What do you mean relative to what happened to the Palestinians? Tell me what is so terrifying that you are willing to forgive the genocide in Gaza. Tell me what scares you so much that you are willing to step over Sidra's lifeless corpse with the legs blown off and say, excuse me, sorry. That you will step over Hind Rajab's cold corpse that was shot at 360 times by the Israelis while she sat in the car waiting for an ambulance that was blown by Israeli tank. That you step over Hind Rajab's body, sorry Hind. That you would step over Reem's body. Tell me what's so terrifying. You step over Reem, Ruh, spirit of my spirit. That you step over the child, you can't identify this child, the head's blown off. You step over them. You step over those 240,000 corpses to get to that ballot box. You step over all of them. You walk by the Palestinian refugees walking by. Where are you going? I'm going to the ballot box. Voting for who? You're too ashamed, embarrassed to say it at that time. You walk to the ballot box. You walk over those bodies, piles and piles of those bodies, drenched in the blood. You see those kids in those images of the hospitals, crushed by the rubble. Their arms are hanging, blood dripping for no other crime than some random people from the West said this land belongs to us. You will walk all over those corpses, go to the ballot box, vote for the one who did it to them, Jalal. Vote for the one who slaughtered them. Vote for the one who massacred them. Vote for the one who continued to lend every impunity to them.
I want to do a couple memes here. Both of the motherfuckers are saying they're going to just let the genocide happen. So here you have blue hat, red hat. I love genocide and watching children die. Me too. Let's go vote. And then here you have Biden, Harris, Walls, Make America Great Again, making out. Right? They both don't give a fuck. What did Bibi said that the best friend, the best president friend of Israel was Donald Trump. Donald Trump says he's just going to let Netanyahu kill as many people. Just kill him quickly, hurry up and kill him. And then by the time he's inaugurated, he says he wants the war to be done. So he just wants, a fucking nuclear bomb dropped on all of them. So he's just going to push for the murder and the killing and the genocide even faster. If you do normalize genocide, there's no fucking turning back. There's no going back. This is the most pressure that they have felt in order to stop the fucking genocide, and they haven't stopped it. And so with all this maximum pressure on them, if they don't do it now, they're not going to fucking do it. Here's, just real quick, animal bites and rabies risk recommendations for Los Angeles County. If you're bit by a bat, then you need to call. This is high risk when it comes to rabies. When it comes to a raccoon, they said they're not urgent cases, but just report the bite online to Vet Public Health. They're saying low risk. These are not urgent cases. The report the bite for local dogs or cats. And then not reportable. Squirrels, rabbits, rodents, birds, snakes, bites from these animals are not reportable because they do not spread rabies. Let's read that again. Squirrels, rabbits, rodents, birds, snakes, they do not spread rabies. They don't even spread rabies. So they're killing them to test for rabies? You fucking piece of shit. It's not a fucking bat. That's urgent. Raccoon is moderate risk. Dogs and cats, low risk. Not reportable. Squirrels, rabbits, rodents, birds, and snakes. Nader's got 10 reasons to vote for the Democrats, which I'll read at the end here. I saw this meme and I thought it was pretty important. One of the biggest issues, you got this woman here holding her nose. One of the biggest issues that Harris Walls is pushing is that they're going to codify Roe v. Wade. They're going to make the right to abortion. They're going to make sure it stands. How many women's corpses must I step over to vote for women's rights? So an American woman could have an abortion. She's going to stand over all these women's. When people say that they're pro-life, what the fuck are they talking about? Let a whole bunch of kids and women and children and old people and sickly people, diseased people in the hospital, men, women, children, everybody is being fucking killed. They're killing all the survivors. They're blowing up people in hospital beds. They blew up the fucking schools. They've blown up the hospitals. They've blown up UN refugee camps. They're blowing everybody up. Everybody. 2 million people, they've all been displaced. They've had to move 3, 4, 5, 6 times. I saw a little kid in a hole. A little kid in a hole reaching out. Did he live? Did he live? I saw one kid carrying another kid. How are they doing? She was getting to the hospital because somebody ran over her 3-year-old, a 5-year-old's carrying a 3-year-old. How did she do? Did she do okay? She live? Let's keep listening to this guy.
Vote for the one who broke the whole international order to slaughter those children, to slaughter our brothers and sisters, to commit the most brutal genocide. You will cross all of those corpses to the Bible.
Eventually he's going to say that you're voting for your own comfort. You're voting for your own comfort.
Next to the name of Harris, the one who committed it.
The way I look at it is Harris and Walls are right-wing conservative, status quo motherfuckers. Are going to keep everything going the way it is, and they only offered us liberal breadcrumbs. Joe Biden did no wrong, says Kamala. Everything Joe did was fucking perfect and right. These are right-wing fucking conservative fucking piles of shit. And they're offering liberal breadcrumbs. They're going to try to reduce price gouging. They have incentives for building houses, some other shit. Liberal breadcrumbs, which means Donald could have fucking won some votes. Kamala could have won some votes. They're going to legalize marijuana. That's an interesting issue. But who's going to build the homes for the houses? Who's going to declare a war on poverty? Who's going to stop the police brutality? Who's going to stop the fascism, the totalitarian corporate and government fascism? Who's going to stop this shit? The major issues that we're confronted with. Who's going to get us UBI checks? Who's going to have ranked choice voting? Who's going to fix our democracy? Who's going to fix our elections? Who's going to get us universal health care? Who's going to get us universal education, free college? Who's going to fix immigration? We should have reform bills every fucking year of all these things. Farm bill, military bill, immigration bill, health care bill, education bill, homelessness bill. Either one of them could have fucking won us over by actually offering something that we need.
Genocide with Biden. And you will yell to those spirits and say, I did it for you. You will look at them in the eye and say, I voted this for you. You will say that I voted for the one who killed you. I voted for the one who gave the bombs to slaughter you. More bombs than Dresden. More bombs than Hiroshima. More bombs than Nagasaki. More bombs than World War II. I voted for the one who gave unfettered access to all those weapons. I voted for the one who sent the Marines to help kill you. And you would dare to look me in the eye and say you did it for Palestine. You did it for them. The nerve, the sheer arrogance of it. It's not for Palestine. It's for your comfort. It's for your status quo. It's for the luxury that you live. Trump is not going to blow up your limbs. You're not going to have a limb amputated in the next 4 years because there's no anesthesia. You survived 4 years of Trump. You can survive again. 240,000 Palestinians did not survive 4 years of Biden. You survived Trump. You survived it. You didn't have your home taken from you. It wasn't handed to Ben Shapiro. It wasn't given to Ben Walsh. The National Guard didn't ethnically cleanse California of Muslims. They didn't go to the East Coast where it's colder. None of that happened to you in the 4 years. None of that will happen to you in the next 4 years. What are you so scared of? that you will go to the ballot box and say, I'm voting for the genociders? Why would you rescue Zionism? Why would you rescue Zionism when it's buckling? Why would you restore their invincibility when it's breaking? Why would you go to the ballot box and say, Zionism, let me prove to the world that even if they support a genocide, they can still win because no one betrays Zionism? Why would you have the chance to break the two-party system? You go and rescue Zionism. Why would you have the chance to finally let people lose because they supported Zionism? Why would you go and help Zionism prove that 99 races run, 99 races won? Yeah, lie. Let there be justice in the world. You will not struggle like the Palestinians. You will not suffer anything like them. Yazidi, if you don't set issues with America, come to London. London is nice once you get used to the weather. But do not say you're doing it for Palestine. Don't say you're doing it for Palestine. Be honest and say you're doing it for yourself. Because you don't want to be a people of struggle. Because the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, the reason he was so successful was because he continued to persevere through the struggle. He was offered the dunya, he said, I will not give up justice. He was offered the comforts, he said, I will not give up justice. But we're telling our kids that you are not successful until you have the home and the Tesla. You know, what do you think about it?
When it comes to justice, it wasn't just Muhammad, but you also had Martin Luther King, you had Jesus, you have James Madison. James Madison was big about justice. And I'm going to read just a couple things here with Nader because, well, you know, I struggle. I go back and forth between the two things. So he says, here's 10 reasons why you should not vote for the Republicans. Reward hard work. Americans don't want handouts. They believe in working for a living, so raise the minimum wage. Between $7 an hour up to 15. Honor thy elders. Many Republican politicians support reducing Social Security benefits rather than taxing the wealthy. Honor the elders. So keep the Social Security. Keep the Medicare. Fifth Amendment, or Fifth Commandment. Honor thy father and thy mother. Action women, children, get things done. Senate leader Mitch McConnell calls himself a proud guardian of gridlock in Washington. Over the years, the GOP has used obstructionist tactics. Respect women. A great majority of Americans back equality, respect, and safety for women. The Republicans voted against helping mothers take leave for sick children, against protections for domestic violence victims seeking justice, and assuring women receive equal pay for equal work, nurture children. The Republican Party blocked the extension of the child tax credit that cut child poverty almost in half. I heard the Democrats let that expire too. It opposes the child safety net that European and Canadian children have had for years, paid family sick leave and paid child and maternal care, going overboard for the junk food lobbyist. Republicans constantly fight to allow harmful foods full of fat, sugar, and salt from going into the school lunch programs. Be upfront and forthright. Americans really despise double talk and people talking behind their backs, saying one thing to citizens in public and another behind closed door rooms full of fat cats. Trump does this all the time. He met with big oil bosses, said drill baby drill in return for a $1 billion campaign contribution. Then he tells motorists he'll bring down gasoline prices to $1.87 per gallon. Take responsibility. Americans believe people should be held responsible for how they treat others, especially corporations, for the harm they cause to their workers. The GOP has bragged about getting rid of health, safety, pocketbook regulations. They even ignored mine safety protections in his own coal-rich Kentucky. Love thy neighbor. Americans don't want their neighbors in hard times dying of pay or die health care prices. Whether it's the staggering price of drugs, the highest in the world, emergency treatments, or gouging health insurance, Trump wants to end Obamacare and still, since 2017, has no plan to replace it. The GOP makes no secret its opposition to full Medicare for all with free choice of doctor and hospital. Medicare for all would be more efficient. Nobody's above the law. That's the American mantra. It's violated regularly by high officials of both parties, CEOs. The GOP, however, has taken contempt for the rule of law to new depths. Donald Trump has openly violated numerous federal laws. While in office, he virtually shut down the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, John Bolton, obstruction of justice, flouting 125 congressional subpoenas, violations of the Hatch Act. And then January 6th, Constitution and corporations, defend the Constitution. Americans defend the Constitution, especially the preamble's first words, we the people of the United States. Trump believes I, the ruler. Constitutional law specialist Bruce Fein, a Republican, documented 12 impeachable practices by Trump. The emoluments clause. There's so many reasons. Twice impeached. Impeachment counts were not brought on 11 of them. Corporations should be our servants, not our masters. The vast majority of Americans would find abhorrent the Republican-dominated Supreme Court that comes down repeatedly for corporations against workers, consumers, environment, that allows unlimited corporate campaign contributions, unbridled corporate power over ordinary voters. Trump has stated and acted accordingly with Article 2. I can do whatever I want as president. The Republican Supreme Court in June gave him further support for his ravaging of our Constitution, Trump v. U.S. So there's 10 reasons, he says, to vote for Republican. So I think it's obvious to me, vote for third party. They all say that genocide is bullshit. There's 43 safe states. If you're in a swing state, that's a tougher call. But even then, you know, how can you vote for evil? I think that you could really distinguish yourself by voting for Chase Oliver, Claudia De La Cruz, Cornel West, or Jill Stein. So Ralph Nader makes good points. And, you know, essentially I think Kamala has this thing in the bag. I think she's got that Obama energy. I think Joe Biden was just too old and sickly and he wasn't going to make it. They 25th Amendment him. So that's exciting. That's interesting. The Democrats went ahead and just moved on, moveon.com on their own accord. And so if it was between Biden and Donald, it almost seems like it was, a sure thing in the bag. So she's, younger, black woman. I live in an area where you have a bunch of racist pieces of shit all over the fucking place. Just absolute disgusting racist. No soul, no. And so being liberal to me is just don't be a racist piece of shit, you know? Don't wave the Confederate Nazi fucking flag. Don't take pride in saying the N-word, you know? And so it's kind of disheartening to me that when people are saying, I don't know anybody who actually defends liberalism itself. The fucking Democrats are right-wing conservative. That's the beauty, that's the genius, that's of the Clintons. They turned the Democratic Party into the Conservative Party. So that's what they did. That's what they did. They turned the Democratic Party into the Conservatives, and so the Republican Party had become batshit fucking crazy. But then they're defending Peanut, so they're against animal cruelty. And, you know, when it comes to Gaza, you don't want to fucking normalize this shit. You vote for them while they're doing a genocide, there ain't a goddamn thing they're not going to fucking do to us. That's open fucking season. But that's not saying Donald is better. It's saying we got to vote fucking third party. We have to fucking vote third party. And hopefully they win a state. Hopefully they get 5%. Hopefully they get one electoral college vote. And if they don't, you know, basically I read this one article that says take what you can when it comes to electoral politics. Take what you can. Take what you can get and fight for the rest. Well, shit, if you live in America, you've had to fight for whatever the fuck you've ever had to get your entire goddamn life. You know the government ain't out here to fucking help us. Ain't nobody helping us. We're the ones that we've been waiting for. We're the change that we've been waiting for. We have to be the change that we want to see in the world. And so, take whatever we can with electoral politics and fight for the rest. So really fight for it all. We have to fight till we die. Fight and struggle, because you know that electoral politics isn't going to fucking save us. They're not going to fucking help us. So I don't have any further clarity. My anxiety is through the roof. What's going to happen tomorrow? You know, this is the day before, and that one guy just had such a fucking heartfelt, you know, I just keep thinking about it. You survived Trump. We cannot survive Biden. You know, Trump did a bunch of things, the Golan Heights, Jerusalem, he set this shit up. He's big, lets Bibi do whatever the fuck he wants to do. So he's going to suck fucking Israel's dick, but he says that he's America first. Saudi Arabia, we fucking suck Saudi Arabia's dick too. Why are we bitches to any fucking country in the world? Egypt, we give them billions of dollars. Why are we bitches to any fucking country in the goddamn world? If a country is doing wrong, we should be on the side of right and good and justice. Like I said, Martin Luther King, James Madison, the U.S. Constitution, Jesus, Muhammad, everybody is talking about fucking justice. The Old Testament, the New Testament. Justice, justice, justice. Justice is the end of government. It's the end of civil society. It will be chased until obtained or until liberty is lost in the process. That's James Madison. I want to say 51, Federalist 51. Justice, justice, justice. The peace is not the absence of conflict. It's the presence of justice. Jesus says, you who tithe mint and dill and cumin, you forget the important things of faith and mercy and justice. He talks about freedom too, with liberty and justice for all. That's what the fucking Pledge of Allegiance says. How can we ignore justice? 9/11 happens and then we attacked not Saudi Arabia. We attacked 2 other countries that had nothing to fucking do with it. And now you got Israel doing this shit to Gaza. Where's the fucking justice in this? So 6 million people want to steal somebody else's fucking land and we're just going to let them do it? And for what? The right to abortion? That's what we're going to do. The right for marijuana? We're not fixing the major institutional problems of this country. And so I don't think voting third party is going to be, I don't think any electoral politics is going to save any of us. But I guess it could. If we get one electoral college vote, if they're both deprived of a majority, then that means a third party could win. This is just an awful, terrible election, you know? What the fuck? You look at your local, look at your government or your state. You got to, you know, if electoral politics is going to save us, it's going to be our local and our state governments, because it's not going to be the fucking national government. We know after every presidential election, everything fucking stays the fucking same. It's all about the donor class. It's all about the millionaires and the billionaires. They get whatever the fuck they want, and we never get what we want or what we need. Nothing's going to fucking change. Either way.